5D Mystery School.
Hey guys, welcome back to 5D Mystery School. Let's get into it.
5D Mystery School.
Alright, jumping right into it. On a natal chart, you have what's called a north node and a south node, also K2 and Rahu. This is the definition of a node. For a point, line, or surface of a vibrating body or system that is free or relatively free from vibratory motion. For B, a point at which a wave has an amplitude of 0. So essentially like a marker for a digital avatar. For example, for the Sims character, it would be the emerald diamond above their head. Now try to fathom this possibility. What if stars were actually nodes for our digital avatars in this simulation? And one node can control thousands of avatars. Hold on to that thought as we go further in this lecture. So the sentient world simulation essentially is a digital program that wants the entire world mapped into a digital version of our real world. A simulation of our simulation. You probably never heard of the sentient world simulation, but it does affect you. And I'm going to tell you how. Now imagine if every jibber jabber contains nanotechnology that connects you to a cloud, a hive mind. A hive mind that is connected to billions of other people. Essentially, this nanotechnology enters your body and works with your neurotransmitters. They work off of your neural network. And if you guys remember, I showed you a lot of patents that had to do with the neural network and machine learning. At this point, the two are synonymous. An example would be Neuralink, using nanotechnology to connect to your neural network, hence the name Neuralink, linking your neutrons to nanotechnology. Now, if you do have the jibber jabber, your dreams, thoughts, feelings, emotions, everything is recorded and sent to the cloud by the nanotechnology that's inside your body. Okay, now this part is important. Pause to read a little bit more about the sentient world simulation. These are the key components. The sentient world simulation was introduced by Purdue in 2006 and then launched in 2007. Do you know what else was launched in 2007? Jibber jabber nanotechnology. This means people have been connected to the hive mind since 2007, but there's more. This is taking place at the highest levels. Global thought leaders assemble at the Vatican for the transhuman code meeting of the minds. I went over this before. Moderna declares COVID vaccine to be an operating system. That's interesting. Okay, now let's talk about Project 2045. Pause to examine this. 2015 to 20, a robotic copy of human body remotely controlled by via BCI. 2020 and 2025, an avatar in which human brain is transported at the end of one's life. Avatar C, an avatar with an artificial brain in which a human personality is transferred at the end of one's life. And Avatar D, a hologram-like avatar. And again, this was taking place on the highest levels. You can see here, he has a clone of himself, an avatar that will be hooked up to the hive mind. Okay, and here we have a roadmap of 2045. And just so that this doesn't go over your head, guys, these are world leaders. Okay, so let's look at this roadmap really quick. Essentially, this roadmap is pointing to autonomous control of artificial life using human-like avatars. Okay, so remember, we went over D-Wave computers. They're quantum computers. And guess what has been running this sentient world simulation? The D-Wave quantum computers. The sentient world simulation is used running qubits by this quantum computer. And guess who's in support of all of this? The Dalai Lama. Rule one of this world, be a master over yourself because, bruh. Sentient World by Sim Strife, war games on the grandest scale. Perhaps your real life is so rich you don't have time for another. Even so, the US Department of Defense may already be creating a copy of you in an alternate reality to see how long you can go without food or water or how you'll respond to televised propaganda. Let me break this down. They can run a pandemic in a sentient world simulation to see how you will react, and they will have the accurate information because the nanotechnology in your body reads your thoughts, feelings, emotions, how you feel about the pandemic in real time, and that transfers to the sentient world simulation. It's an actual copy of how people think in real time, and they can do this every day, even with false flags, allegedly. Okay, so SWS, it will be a synthetic mirror of the real world with automated continuous collaboration with respect to current real world information according to a concept paper for the project. SWS provides an environment for testing PSYOPs so that military leaders can develop and test multiple courses of action, anticipate and shape behaviors of adversaries, neutrals, and partners. It also replicates financial institutions, utilities, media outlets, and street corner shops. So everything that's in our world is in the SWS. Here's an example of real-time information relaying back to SWS. And to substantiate what has been said, here's a patent for sapient or sentient artificial intelligence made in 2012. System and method for avatar cloning in 2008. I found this intriguing. Apple patents technique that use clones, doppelgangers to protect your privacy. And that was in 2012. Chatbots can bring you back from the dead, sort of. Microsoft patent technology that would use social media posts to reincarnate people as chatbots. Yeah, I said what you think it said. Microsoft patent describes tracking brain activity to mine cryptocurrency. Here's a patent that goes along with that. Cryptocurrency system using body activity data. Here's a patent for quantum computing using D-Wave superconductors, and this was done in 1999. This is a patent from D-Wave, systems and method for real-time quantum computer-based control of mobile systems. Let this one sink in. Alright guys, we have a lot to cover this week. If you like this video, make sure you like and follow for more. Take care of yourself, don't be scared, be prepared. I love you. Peace.
The world is on the verge of global change. The speed of data transmission has increased by multiples of millions. The rate of globally significant events and that of discoveries and crises is growing exponentially. Our civilization is like an uncaptained ship sailing on rough seas with neither chart nor compass, all the while moving faster and faster. The time we have to make the right decisions is shorter and shorter. We are facing the choice to fall into a new dark age, into affliction and degradation, or to find a new model for human development and create not simply a new civilization, but a new mankind. Historic crises show that to break the deadlock, we need technological revolution. It is clear that today's revolution will also require the deepest social transformation. The world's community and leaders should encourage mankind, instead of wasting resources on solving momentary problems, to focus on the technologies of the future: nanotechnology, biotechnology, information technology, cognitive technology, genetics and robotics. Doing so will allow us to find new sources of energy, create fundamentally new architecture and transportation, allow unprecedented developments of human cognitive abilities, refine artificial intelligences and brain-computer interfaces, simulate complex systems, create humanoid robots and cyborgs, and with the help of nanorobots, we may develop manageable matter. Find ways to transfer one's personality to an artificial carrier. Yet what we need is not just another technological revolution, but a new civilizational paradigm. We need new philosophy and ideology, new ethics, new culture and new psychology, and even new metaphysics. We must reset our limits, go beyond ourselves, beyond the Earth, and beyond the solar system. This is an adequate response to the challenges of our time. Thus, new reality and future man will arise. Could it happen spontaneously, by itself? Unlikely. Humanity does not have a master plan of its development. It seeks stability. It lives in the present and does not plan. It preserves the status quo and tries to escape development. It does not tend to map future centuries and take responsibility for evolution. In consumer society's culture, there is no evolutionary vocabulary and rhetoric. To break the deadlock, the Russia 2045 movement was founded. It is a mega project intended to reach new heights and meanings. We intend to create a new vector for civilization, aimed at constant human development and evolution. As happened with the mega projects of the last century, the nuclear and the space programs, we integrate the latest discoveries and developments from the sciences: physics, energetics, aeronautics, bioengineering, nanotechnology, neurology, cybernetics, cognitive science. May everlasting spiritual ideals and values help us avoid going astray. Our project will give new meanings to the millions of people on Earth, will become a result of their joint creativity, and will lead us out of the impasse. Away from the murder of nature and physical death, forward to the realm of freedom and creativity, to the depths of the ocean and to the stars, to the infinite universe of our inner world. Our forecast for the next 40 years. February 2012. Global Future 2045 Congress is held in Moscow. It is a debate platform for discussion of our civilization's prospects for development. 2012 to 2013, the global economic and social crises are exacerbated. The debates on the global paradigm of future development intensifies. New transhumanist movements and parties emerge. Russia 2045 transforms into World 2045. Simultaneously, the 2045.com international social network for open innovation is expanding. Here, anyone interested may propose a project, take part in working on it, or fund it, or both. In the network, there are scientists, scholars, researchers, financiers, and managers. 2013 to 2014. New centers working on cybernetic technologies for the development of radical life extension rise. The race for immortality starts. 2015 to 2020. The Avatar is created. A robotic human copy controlled by thought via brain-computer interface. It becomes as popular as a car. In Russia and in the world appear, in testing mode, several breakthrough projects. Android robots to replace people in manufacturing tasks. Android robot servants for every home. Thought-controlled avatars to provide telepresence in any place of the world and abolish the need for business trips. Flying cars. Thought-driven mobile communications built into the body or sprayed onto the skin. 2020 to 2025. An autonomous system providing life support for the brain and allowing it interaction with the environment is created. The brain is transplanted into an Avatar B. With Avatar B, man receives new, expanded life. 2025. The new generation of avatars provides complete transmission of sensations from all 5 sensory robot organs to the operator. 2030 to 2035. Rebrain. The colossal project of brain reverse engineering is implemented. World science comes very close to understanding the principles of consciousness. 2035. The first successful attempt to transfer one's personality to an alternative carrier. The epoch of cybernetic immortality begins. 2040 to 2050. Bodies made of nanorobots that can take any shape arise alongside hologram bodies. 2045 to 2050. Drastic changes in social structure and in scientific and technological development. All the prerequisites for space expansion are established. For the man of the future, war and violence are unacceptable. The main priority of his development is spiritual self-improvement. A new era dawns. The era of neo-humanity.
Alright, Skynet Part 3, let's get into it. So, I already covered why I believe that we are living in a computer simulated reality, but the sentient world simulation is showing you how this can be done in real time. Okay, so I don't know if you are aware of this, but every time we leave our homes, we are being sprayed with nanotechnology known as smart dust. Y'all know how I feel about fact checks. And the smart dust is being released through chemtrails. Yes, the smart dust has nanotechnology that attaches to your skin and is powered by the 5G system. And nanotech from the jab is also powered by 5G. So smart dust attaches to your skin and turns your DNA into a radio signal that can be read by satellite. And these are microscopic fibers, which brings me to my next point of Morgellons. You may have heard of Morgellons disease, rare condition that involves fibers appearing underneath the skin. And I just told you where these fibers are coming from. Here's a patent for transparent electronics for invisible smart dust applications. Here's a patent for smart dust cleaner and cooler for solar PV panels. Here's Morgellons fiber seen with a microscope underneath the skin. Here's another. So these are tiny computers, nanotechnology, that turns your pulse, heart rate, DNA information into radio signals that can be read by satellite, that can be read by 5G technology. One way to test for Morgellons is get you some raw cranberry juice, swish it around in your mouth, spit that out underneath the microscope, and you can see the Morgellons in the juice. You may have seen hip-hop artist B.O.B. do that years ago. Here is Morgellons culture subjected to blue light wavelength, and you can see explosive growth within 24 hours of film. And here's a better representation of what that looks like. Now y'all see how much they be spraying chemtrails. You may not notice the stuff getting on you because it's nanotechnology. And this was in Newsweek. CV jab embedded in chemtrail smart dust. I mean, I really feel like the simulation is becoming more apparent. But anyway, to bring it back full circle, the sentient world simulation is receiving real-time data from the nanotechnology that is attached to your body. Are we living in a simulation? I mean, they have real-time stats and data and physiological information on who knows how many people right now. I mean, who knows what type of microchips babies be getting now in the hospitals? Random thought. So if we are living in a simulated reality, then it's quite possible that we're not the only simulated reality. And every reality runs on a certain timeline. And there's certain ways to break barriers and merge timelines. And it all could be ran off quantum computers. You know what else can merge realities and runs off a quantum computer? That's right, CERN. Stay tuned for more. Hey guys, welcome back to 5D Mystery School. This is part 6 of Skynet. Let's get into it. Okay, so D-Wave is an adiabatic quantum computer. And what that means is its process does not require heat. D-Wave has the equivalent processing power of 7 billion human brains. This means that D-Wave could literally run this entire flat Earth plane. Don't come for me, I said what I said. Flat. But what if it already does run the simulation? It's worth the thought. Okay, so D-Wave is accessing the quantum field that is all around us at all times. We talked about the electromagnetic field, but I believe the quantum field can be used to access other dimensions, timelines, and the entities and beings that come with them. And the D-Wave adiabatic quantum computer powers CERN. Now, you probably heard about CERN a lot recently. That's because on July the 5th of this year, 2022, they're going to launch the Large Hadron Collider and smash subatomic particles at higher speeds than ever before. So let me give you a brief rundown on CERN. Its origins can be traced back to December the 9th, 1949. At the end of the Second World War, you can pause to read the rest. And then in 1952, they were looking for where to build, and Geneva was selected for the site. May 5th, 1952, the first meeting of CERN Council. June of 53, the convention is complete. March 1954, they are breaking ground for CERN. This is odd. September 54, the European Organization for Nuclear Research is born. And this was at the 6th session of the CERN Council. May 57, CERN's first accelerator, the synchrocyclotron, starts up. 59, November, the proton synchrotron starts up. September 65, first observations of anti-nuclei. 72, they become touchscreen pioneers. July 74, the super proton synchrotron tunnel completed. Fast forward to 83, WZ particles discovered. Fast forward to 1990, the world's first browser, editor, website, and server go live at CERN. Now, according to CERN, the internet, the World Wide Web, was started at CERN. Now, to me, this in itself is a Mandela effect, because I could have sworn my entire life I thought the internet was created by a black man, by Philip Emeagwali. Now, one of the first browsers was AOL. Just pause to look at this for a second. To me, this looks like a portal, a Stargate. And of course, the pyramid shape is sacred for broadcasting frequencies. Apparently, the first website ever was info.cern.ch. 97, the Alice experiment is approved, like Alice in Wonderland. And then fast forward to 2008, the Large Hadron Collider starts up. CERN's Large Hadron Collider is a particle accelerator that smashes subatomic particles at incredible speeds in an attempt to open a portal to another dimension, to smash our reality into other ones, our timeline shifting into other ones. CERN is located between Switzerland and France, We spoke about Atlas here in another video. So the LHC is 5.3 miles in diameter and 16.8 miles in circumference. I don't know if it uses any power from Lake Geneva like water power, but I find it interesting that it is located next to Lake Geneva. And as mentioned before, supposedly the World Wide Web was created at CERN using www to go to an address, and W in Old Hebrew is Vav and represents 6, and 3 of those W's is of course 666. And what a coincidence, so is the logo for CERN. And I believe it's worth noting that CERN has a statue of Kali out front of their facility, and it was gifted by India to celebrate them on their research. And Kali is the goddess of death, time, and change. And it's a popular belief in the truther community that CERN is connected to Mandela effects. And if they're going to have the most powerful launch ever since the Large Hadron Collider was built to take place of this year, July 5th, then we can expect more Mandela effects. I believe that's a safe assumption. I mean, CERN backed by D-Wave that can literally run the world on its own. Who knows what's going to happen with this launch? I don't think the simulation is going to crack in half, but you will notice some small changes, I believe. So not only is CERN connected to D-Wave, but it's also connected to other particle accelerators right here in the States at Fermi Labs. So Fermi National Accelerator Laboratory, located just outside Batavia, Illinois, near Chicago, is like CERN's little sister, because this particle accelerator facility is connected to CERN, and they can control CERN's control room from this facility in Chicago. These accelerators are constantly running and feeding information back to CERN. They run 24/7 to look for new particles. Wait, so let's connect something here before we go. So supposedly the World Wide Web was started at CERN. So I would assume that CERN has a log of everything that was ever said on the World Wide Web since the inception of it, and therefore connecting it to any systems that would also be connected to it, like 5G. And I told you that the 5G is connected to the nanobots that are being drenched on your body every single day when you leave your place. And then those nanobots send vital and DNA information in the form of an electromagnetic signal back to a satellite that is connected to the 5G system that is connected to D-Wave, which is connected to CERN. And these nanobots are intended to build an artificial third strand to your DNA that would biologically hijack your body. And like I said, I believe the entire system is connected to D-Wave, which will also be used to control AI bots, like Skynet from Terminator. So Skynet is a fictional artificial neural network based conscious group mind and artificial general superintelligence system that serves as the antagonistic force of the Terminator franchise. But how's it fictional if it's happening right now? Come on. So I want to point out, if you do have the jibber jabber, the nanobots are altering your DNA, allegedly. And nanobots are also being sprayed from chemtrails every single day. They send information back to the 5G network, and I don't know what system they could be using. And by saying this, I'm not saying anything negative about Elon, but they could be using Starlink. I believe a large part to this entire plan is just conquering the DNA. And side note, it's weird that they always encourage melanated people to go first because they want to experiment more on our DNA. And the more melanated people that are jabbed, the more information they have to work with. But they're tracking everybody. So on a larger scale, all of the information that is being collected is actually being doubled in the sentient world simulation. And that sentient world simulation is, I believe, is directly connected to the quantum computers because they run real-time situations. So AI get to learn what would happen in a real-time situation by using a sentient world simulation because it has real-time information from people via nanobots. So essentially, AI would know what's going to happen. It has large probabilities, like different probabilities of what would happen before it happened because it's running several simulations every second based off the information that it's getting. Because this system is constantly getting information, not only from nanotechnology, but from the phone in your hand. If you want to go more in depth in learning and studying about artificial intelligence, I would suggest reading this book, Superintelligence by Nick Bostrom. It's a heavy read. I'm almost through it myself, but it's helped me to understand AI in a very, very deep way. But we're going to stop here for today and pick it up next time. Remember, don't be scared. Just be prepared. Take care of yourself, guys. I love you. Peace.
5D Mystery School.
Welcome back to 5D Mystery School. Let's get into it. So here are a few things that you can do during the launch of CERN that's taking place July the 5th of this year. First, you can keep your eyes on the weather for that area, which is Geneva. And you just want to keep an eye out to see if you notice anything strange. Next, start a timer for 24 hours at 12 a.m. and see if it completes at 12 a.m. If it doesn't, then something's off and the timelines have probably shifted. Again, next, keep your eyes on the live earthquake feed for that area, which is Geneva, Switzerland. And if you search for it, a couple of them will pop up. I would say next, just learn how to balance your crown chakra and what it means, because that's where your downloads come through. Next, get you some shungite for EMF protection. And if you can, try to stay in and don't go out on July the 4th. As you can see, Geneva is ahead of us by 6 hours over here on the East Coast. Or they call Detroit the Midwest, but I believe it's the North. Actually, don't get me started. And also keep your eyes on the time for Geneva just to see if any strange occurrences happen around 12 a.m. or around the time that they're launching it. If possible, don't drink on July the 4th because that really lowers your frequencies and vibrations. And it makes you more susceptible to attacks by radio frequency. So just try to hold off if possible. More than likely, everybody's going to be distracted with fireworks while they're launching the Large Hadron Collider. And the sky is going to be polluted with fireworks, so it's going to be kind of hard to notice any strange occurrences happening in the sky. And in my last video, I said that this was Kali. My bad. It's actually Shiva the Destroyer. Just wanted to clear that up. But on August 5th, 2015, for some weird reason, they did project Kali on the Empire State Building in New York. I uploaded the Everything You Need to Know About Fermi Labs on my Instagram, so if you're not following me, go and follow me and watch that video. If you guys have any other suggestions, feel free to throw it in the comment section. I won't say this launch is anything to fear, but I implore you to be hyper aware and take it seriously. If you're liking this video, make sure to like and follow for more. Take care of yourself, guys. I love you. Peace.
5D Mystery School.
Welcome back to 5D Mystery School, and in this video I'm just going to go over a few things that you probably didn't know about CERN. Jumping right into it, pause to read. The Worldwide LHC Computing Grid, or WLCG, is composed of 4 levels or tiers, called 0, 1, 2, and 3. Each tier is made up of several computer centers and provides a specific set of services. Between them, the tiers process, store, and analyze all data from the Large Hadron Collider. And then pause to read what the tiers are. So in tier 1, you can see it's Canada, Germany, Spain, France, Italy, Nordic countries, Netherlands, Republic of Korea, Russian Federation, Taipei, United Kingdom, US, and US again. Y'all know how I feel about fact checks, and I'm going to play a video after this video so that you can see what this means. Something else you didn't know, CERN subpoenaed physicists who claimed physics was invented by men and that somebody had to speak. And there was actually a CIA whistleblower who claimed that CERN was the entrance to the CIA headquarters. And oddly enough, I went to the CIA website and they actually do have a location near Geneva. Sorry, but we accidentally entered the world in 2012, admits CERN scientists. And apparently they admitted it at this Higgs Search Conference in 2012. In 2015, scientists at Large Hadron Collider hoped to make contact with Parallel Universe in days. And prior to that, physicists hope particle accelerator will explain dark matter, gravity, and antimatter as it completes its test run following an upgrade. So they went from dark matter and antimatter to straight up parallel universe. Alright, noted. So apparently that LHC launch caused this to happen above the skies, above the CERN facility. And in 2017, CERN researchers apologized for destruction of 5 parallel universes in recent experiment. Huh? And last but not least, there have been scientists that did work at CERN that started to speak out against CERN and what they were doing at CERN. And apparently this doctor committed suicide. So this grid, a system of tiers, reaches globally. It reaches all over the world. So as I conclude the talking part for this lecture, Skynet, I just want to leave you with 2 things about CERN. One is I feel as though it affects the Schumann resonance. And another, although I haven't done research on this yet, I believe somehow it's connected to the HARP facility. Okay, I lied, one more thing. This came to me in a mental download. There's some type of connection here. Okay, another thought. I believe that CERN creates some type of torsion field, like it's a torsion field generator. A quantum spinning torus that looks like a donut, like the one at Magnetic North. Or it could have been one created at the Great Pyramids, and they could have made a portal, and that explains the Orion connection. And they're trying to recreate the same thing at CERN.
What the f? What the?
$5D Mystery School. $5D Mystery School.